morning, everybody. I hope you guys are feeling great. I'm feeling great. We got parts in. Let's take a look. So like I said, we got some good parts that just came in that I've been accumulating as well. You guys might have seen in the last video all the whole truckload of parts that I got. We just got some more in for the Civic and for the CRX. Let's take a look. All right, so I'll make it quick. Here we got the Skunk 2 Ultra intake manifold. It was a lot easier to just put the camera down and get it out the damn box. Here it is. Skunk 2 Ultra intake manifold. That is going to be for the K20Z3 that is going in the CRX. Up next here we have the Works 350 inline fuel pump, which is going to be for the Civic. I hope I pronounced the name properly, but here I'll show you guys just in case. That is for the J35 Civic. Next up, Fuel Lab fuel filter, which is gonna be for, I don't remember. This is also for the Civic. I went with Fuel Lab. I've never heard anything bad about them, and why not give it a try? Shout out to Fuel Lab. What else we got? Here we got the AEM fuel pressure regulator. This is going to be for the CRX. This is going to be for the CRX. And last but not least, shout out to P2R. These are the fuel rails for, Jesus Christ. These are the few rails for the J35 Civic. Shout out to P2R. Back to this bad boy. I'll show you guys, also it comes with the gasket. It comes with some fittings or whatnot. And obviously the tag or the decal, the metal decal to put right there. Beautiful piece, man. Beautiful piece. Whoop. I've always wanted a Skunk 2 intake manifold and finally got it. So to get more in depth with today's video, all I'm really doing today is planning the fuel system and how and where I want to put certain parts in the engine bay and inside of the cab. All right, well, let's start off with taking the cover off the Civic. The CRX SI seats are no longer here. They have been sold. Let's take this car cover off, boys. Here it is. In case this is your first video, this is my 2000 Honda Civic sedan. I believe it's an EX. I could be wrong, but let me show you guys the motor, what I've put together. This is my J35A. There's no number after that because it's J-Spec. It's from Japan, this motor. So it's a J35A. And like I said, for today's video, we're just gonna plan out how I want to do the fuel system, how I want to run the fuel lines, and all that good stuff. So there's not going to be tools today involved, just so you guys know. So here we have my fuel cell that I mounted some time ago. Put some bars across and put the fuel cell in. So what I want to figure out is how I'm going to run my lines and how we're going to go about that. So what's cool about this fuel cell is down at the bottom you see that little indent. Well, that's not an indent, but this little dip down here. All the fuel, the most fuel is going to accumulate here at the bottom because underneath it's flat, but it dips into this dip right here. So I think I left the fuel pump and the fuel filter in its bags. I don't want to take it out so that it can get all scratched up or whatnot. But I think what I'm gonna do From this guy here, from this nipple, I will run a hose from here to the filter. From the filter, obviously, it's gonna go to the pump. From the pump, now I wanna figure out how I'm gonna go forward to get the lines to the front of the car. I myself have never done a fuel system on my own, so there's gonna be a lot of testing, tuning, moving here, moving there, trying to figure it out. I've done a lot of work before with friends of mine, never on my own. Unless I get the homies to come through and help me out, it's gonna be on my own, the whole thing, just so you guys could understand where I'm coming from. If I mess up, if I don't do things the correct way, I've never done it, but I have a very good idea as to how it's supposed to work. So what I'm thinking is, here from my fuel pump, these lines are going to continue, and I think I'm going to make it go through, because I removed the gas tank. Okay, so all this down here is completely empty. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll maybe close this off, either weld it or just put a like a rubber gasket. Actually, probably this rubber gasket right here I'll probably put back, and make it go through here. From here, just going to continue underneath where the exhaust would normally go, that exhaust tunnel. I think I'm going to keep it there towards the front. Reason being is my K-tuned shifter, the cables are not going to go underneath, they're going to go through the firewall, and I'm going to show you guys where. So here's my K-tuned shifter, and if you look, that hole you see right there, okay, that hole is that guy. So I think, there's my damn 10mm. Yo, it's crazy, we really do lose 10mm sockets all over the place. Anyways, back to what I was saying. From there, my cables will just come through. It'll come through here, go right into this bracket, and into the trans, whatever it needs to connect to. For my cables though, they're pretty much gonna almost be in line with where the shifter cables are gonna come up through, which is here. They're probably gonna come from about here, come up, and maybe I'll put the fuel pressure regulator here. Let me go and grab it and take a look. Side note, maybe on camera it looks good, but this engine bay is disgusting. So soon enough, I'm gonna have to wash this puppy because it's nasty. It's been raining here in Florida, like, been raining here non-stop for about 3 freaking weeks, and this engine bay looks disgusting. She needs a cleaning, so soon she's getting cleaned up. So for the Civic, I'm actually going with the K-tuned fuel pressure regulator, and it also has the fuel gauge. I don't need to take it out, but it's right there. Okay, so here's a fuel pressure regulator. Now I know that most of the time, even with K series, a lot of people normally put it right there on that strut tower spot, part of the wall. But I don't know if I want it there. It may have to end up going there, but I preferred not to. I preferred putting it back here, but I think that might be too much of a hard, like 90, to go from where the fuel lines are gonna come from to just come up into this area of where it's gonna go, because I still need, obviously, my throttle cable. Also, another reason why I'm gonna run it through the exhaust tunnel, just in case you guys come at me wrong, I'm not running the exhaust all the way back. I'm probably going to do either hood exit or fender exit. I might do the passenger side fender exit. Okay, so exhaust is not going through the tunnel, just so you guys know, just so you guys understand what's going on. So once I get the fuel lines, I'm thinking it might go there. I'm gonna have to obviously look. So once I get the fuel lines, I'm gonna see if that, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. You see down there, from where the cables are going to come from down that way to that nipple on the bottom, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Or does it have to go to this nipple? Bro, I really have no idea. But I don't think it's too hard of a 90 anyways, whichever way I do it, for that to be possible. Instead of going here like you typically would see it. But now that I'm looking at it here, I could hide the cables a little bit better if I go from down there behind the, what's that, steering column, rack and pinion, and then come up underneath this guy. You know, I think it would look cleaner. So it actually might end up going there. God damn it. I really didn't want to put it there, but I think it's probably going to work the best, and I could hide the cables just a little bit better, only because when I put it there, and you can see underneath, I could run the cable all the way down that way towards the back. But if I put it there, and if this is my in's going to come here from this guy. If I have to go to my fuel rail, which is right there, I have a small little, what, 1.5 foot or so line that I would have to make to go to the fuel rail. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research and find a Y adapter, or look at how the P2R fuel rails are, in order to get my one fuel line feed that's gonna go from here to here and feed both of my rails. Now you can see here how they have it done originally, where it comes into that guy and then this little dude loops over to the other fuel rail. But I think the way the P2R is, I think the fittings are gonna go on the end of both fuel rails. So I'll get a Y adapter and make that happen. Now, what I have to also figure out is, I don't see a return. I don't see a fuel return. Now, I could be looking at this and be completely wrong, and the fuel return might just be coming from the actual fuel pressure regulator, which, now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably what it is. I don't know why I have in my mind that from the fuel rails they're gonna go back all the way to the fuel cell. Please correct me if I'm wrong, man. Put it in the comments, help me out. My feed comes in, or my feed comes in, continues to the fuel rails, and then this is my return back to the fuel cell. Please help me out, man. For real, please help me out. So you guys might have seen in the last video, one of the last videos, that I do already have the fuel lines -8. So what I have to do now is I'm gonna have to draw up how the fuel system's gonna be, and on that drawing is what I'm going to draw on. Check the lizard on top of the tent. Now I wish I could reach it. Get out of here. Now he moved over there. All right, I'll let him be. My bad. Back to what I was saying. So what I'm gonna do is, now he's moving over this way. A big old lizard. He's coming to bite me. All right. So what I'm gonna do, draw out the fuel system, figure out exactly how I'm gonna do it, and on that drawing is how I'm gonna figure out what fittings I'm gonna need for my system and all the turns and nipples that need to be connected. So I think I got a pretty good little plan for it. Like I said, let's walk over this way. Let's open these doors. Let this bad girl get some air. So here we go. Fuel cell. I'm gonna talk to a buddy of mine. And see if I have it, you know, in the correct manner. I think these are air vents, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. Or if those are a return and one of those down there is an air vent, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anywho, talk to my buddy. I'm gonna make sure that everything is somewhat correctly as how I am envisioning it in my head, and then I will go from there and start ordering the fittings that I need. So just got off the horn with my boy Josue that you guys might have seen in my way back video when we put the transmission onto the motor and put the motor into the Civic. Josue is the one who helped me put the clutch, flywheel, pressure plate onto the trans, and trans onto the motor engine. So like I said, we just got off the phone, and if we're pretty sure that this guy on my left is gonna come from the fuel cell. So it's gonna go fuel cell, fuel filter, fuel pump into this guy. From here, he's gonna go into my fuel rail. Okay, this guy down here is our return back to the fuel cell, and this guy right here, that little hole you see, the threaded hole, is actually for the gauge. That guy. Like I said, I don't think we are incorrect. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the fuel rails on that J35, and I am 100% positive that there is no return line coming off of either side. So I have to find a Y to go into those fuel rails that's gonna attach to my out on my fuel pressure regulator. So I'm gonna draw it up and figure out every nipple that I need, order the nipples. Spoke to my dog Josue. He said he's gonna come through and help me out when it's that time. Whoa, so today guys, that's it for today. All right, don't hate me. All we did was plan. I needed a plan and I wanted to record it, show you guys my process of the plan. Some people probably do it completely different, which is perfectly fine. My way is not the best way. It may not be the right way, it may be the wrong way, I don't know, but that's just how I plan things. All right, and I just wanted to show you guys and bring you along. So with that being said, that is the end of this video. Please like, please comment, subscribe, and share. And obviously, if you want to see the videos first, make sure to touch that bell. Yes, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know in the comments below on the fuel system and what you guys think, and on the fuel return right there on that guy right there. Yep. Help me out. You guys know the vibes. Chase the dream, not the competition. Peace, man.